Everyone, welcome to the Power Half Hour. Today we have a very special guest, and this is very, very special. One of my very good friends from the Mike Ferry organization, the absolute rock star in the real estate industry, and he looks like he's 12, and he sells 200 homes, and he has 5 kids. Amazing guy. Thank you for being here today. I know you're super busy, but thank you for taking the time to be interviewed today.
John, of course.
Thank you.
You're my favorite guy. I would never. This is an honor.
Oh, thank you. I should call you the Tom Cruise of real estate. Never age, and look at those dimples. Anyway, so everyone, if you don't know who Bryan Burnett is, he sells real estate out of St. George, Utah, and have been selling for now the last 20 years.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. And so you started when you were 10 years old, or what?
Yeah, that started when I was 22.
22. Okay. So you're 42 today. So we're the same age. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you get started? Why real estate?
So great question. So I go to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormon.
Okay.
And so when I graduated from high school, I was 19. And I went on an LDS as a missionary. You know, those guys you see around town, the white shirts, black tag, riding bikes sometimes. So that's what I did right after I graduated from high school. And so basically what you're doing is you're out knocking doors, talking to strangers like all day long.
Right.
And that's when I decided, hey, I kind of like this. I want to do some sort of sales business when I get back. And so I got back and I was going to these different stores, like furniture stores, like a Sears, I think. I was like, hey, I want to sell stuff. And they wouldn't hire me because I didn't have any experience. And so someone in my family said, yeah, you should try real estate. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So I just did it, just got in it.
Wow. Okay. So how has being able to talk to strangers, all day long, how long did you do the missionary?
So it was 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
And door to door?
Door to door for 2 years.
Wow.
I went to Texas. I'm from Utah. I went to Texas, and it was crazy because if you knew me when I was in high school, very like shy, quiet. I would never talk to strangers ever. I hated it. And so what happens is, so I graduated from high school. 3 months later, leave the house, and they ship you off to Provo, Utah, up by BYU, and you go through like a 2-week training course, basically. And so then what happened is then from there, after 2 weeks, I flew to Texas, and they dropped me off at my apartment with my companion that I'm with. And then what was funny is I didn't even unpack my bags or anything. He's like, okay, drop your bags off here. And then we went out and just started knocking doors immediately.
That's it.
Yeah. It's like, and the reason they do that is because they like know everyone's scared of, or like doesn't like doing that. So they just want to get you in there in the thick of it, like immediately.
So, okay. So there was really no chance to even feel the fear. It was just like, do it.
Oh, dude, I was scared. Yeah, I was really scared. I remember the first door I knocked on, it was like an 85-year-old man just sitting on his porch. Like I can still remember like that anxiety,
Wow. Okay. But after 2 years of that training, then you got into real estate. Then how has that helped you in real estate?
Oh, it was everything. Like after just a few months of that, it was just no problem, like all day, every day, just doing it. And yeah, so then I got in real estate. The broker that I was with, he's like, hey, he was telling me to do stuff like go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings, like look in the newspaper and look for ideas to call to, I don't even know why, honestly, like he didn't have any ideas, like sit here, floor time, whatever. And then he's like, hey, there's some tapes in the back room you can listen to. So I listened to those, and it was Mike Ferry.
Okay.
Mike Ferry. And I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. This is what I know. This is what I've been doing. And so I just went out and started knocking doors like all day. And I looked like I was 13 years old knocking doors, and people, they would list their property. They would list their home.
They would list their home. It was as easy as that. But you actually went out and did it. So when you first started, how much door knocking did you do every single day?
I would probably do like maybe 3 hours.
And how many contacts would that be, you think?
I would have to go back and look. I bet you I did 30 to 40 contacts a day.
30 to 40 contacts a day. Was that more than doing the missionary or less?
Probably less.
Okay. So the moral of the story, if you didn't get it, is that go do some missionary, go get yourself trained, and you can make it in real estate. So 3 to 4 hours of door knocking. In your first a few years, how many transactions did you do from that?
That's a good question. I think I did right off the bat, I did probably like 4 or 5 deals.
Okay.
And then I went to college after that.
Oh, what? So you got into real estate,
Yeah.
did full-time real estate, and you went back to college?
Yeah. Yeah. I
What?
went to Brigham Young University. And so
Oh,
while I was in college, I'd go to class and then I'd go knock doors after class for 2 hours. And I would still do deals. And I did that for like a year and a half. And then finally I just got so like, I was just angry because I knew how much I could make in real estate.
yeah.
And finally I just one day, middle of the day, I just went to the office and checked out of college.
Good for you. Well, great decision then. Were
Yeah.
your parents mad?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my mom didn't like it. My dad didn't care. My mom was like, that's probably the only reason I was going to college is for my parents, basically.
Same here. I didn't know that existed in your family. So the Asian culture is like, if you don't go to university, you're a deadbeat. And then even if you don't don't do anything with your life afterwards, as long as you went to university, you're okay.
Okay. That's good to know.
No, it's not good. It's not good. But so yeah, so from your first few years and you went full-time into real estate after you checked out of college, did you have any struggles, or was it just like a consistent, trajectory up?
It was always there were struggles. I think once I dropped out of college and I fully committed, that's when I hired a coach full time. That first year, I think I'd have to look back, like 30 deals maybe
Wow.
that
As a
first year.
single agent.
Yeah. Single agent.
Wow. My gosh. And then so that's you said full-time coach was from Mike, obviously.
Mike Ferry. Yeah. And that was when I was 24, 25, right around there.
Okay.
And that was up in like the Salt Lake City area. And so from there, let's see, I went another 7 years in that area. And that was 2006, 2007, all those areas when the market was just crazy. And then it
Yeah.
crashed. But I usually maintained, this is the weird part, I maintained my transaction count like around 50 for like 6 years.
Okay. So wait, you went to Salt Lake and sold real estate for 6, 7 years. And then
Yeah.
when the market crashed, did you then move to St. George?
No, I stayed there.
We stayed there.
I maintained my transaction count. It was always around 50 deals.
Wow.
My income never really dropped during those times. It was still just I did a lot of phone prospecting then and knocking doors.
Wow. Okay. So guys, even when the market drops, it doesn't mean your production has to drop. You have to adjust what you're doing according to what the market is doing, so then you can keep up with your production. So even during the crash, it's like someone just like pulled the rug out, like it was free fall, and you still did 50 deals. How?
Yeah, it still maintained 50 deals. It was just the same thing every day. I mean, as long as you find someone who's motivated and they had
Wow.
equity at the time, did a little bit of short sell, not a whole lot, but it was just calling a lot of people every day.
Did you have to call more people during the crash to
You
get
had to
the same
call,
amount of deals, or?
I think so. Yeah, you had to, because there was fewer people that could do something.
Right.
I think the number of transactions dropped in half, right? For the nation around that crash. It was a big drop in the number of transactions. So obviously you'd have to probably double your contacts.
That's crazy. So when the world's falling apart and you're out here just doing your thing, making calls, door knocking, and still doing 50 deals, and income never dropped. How did you keep up your mindset so strong?
It probably wasn't strong all the time.
Really?
I don't think
Okay.
so. There's always highs and lows to the real estate game or any kind of sales game. The challenge is how quickly can you get it back up.
Mm.
I
So
would say
when
that
you, let's say if you lost a deal or, you didn't get a contract signed, they chose somebody else. How much time do you give yourself to just mope
nowadays or back then?
back then?
Back then, probably a day,
For a
maybe,
day? Okay.
maybe a day or two.
And today?
Today, it's like, I don't know, a minute,
A
maybe,
minute?
maybe.
That's
It's
awesome.
not, well, it's harder. It's easier if you have a lot of deals in the pipeline, and then one falls out, they reject you,
Right. Doesn't
whatever.
matter. Yeah. So everybody has their ups and downs. I just always see you as like Mr. Perfect, to be honest. Like you would never have a bad day, and it's always like everything is always good, and you just keep on keeping on doing your job. So, what would you say is your biggest thing for mindset? What would you do to keep up your mindset?
Mindset. So I would say mindset comes from like my daily routine.
Okay.
So how my routine looks today, and it's gotten more intense over the years, like more disciplined. But now I wake up at 4 a.m., have a drink, celery juice, and
Wow.
then I do my spiritual readings,
Okay.
my scripture studies, and then my wife and I, we go to the gym at 5. We work out till 6, 6:15, and then I come back and every single day I do a daily meditation. It's like 20
Mm,
25 minutes. It's a guided meditation. I've done it for the last 6 years every
wow.
day. And I always feel like that really gets my mindset level and then excited for the day.
My
And
gosh.
then from there, I have breakfast with my family. We do some, we sit together at the table, we read
Oh,
motivational, and we read some scripture together, and we have family prayer together, and then I go
and
script practice.
okay, script practice, the whole thing, like prospecting until noon, go
Yep.
on appointments in the afternoon. So you really do what most top agents do, and you do it to a T, and you never sway away from it. 4 o'clock wake up, celery juice, go work out at 5 a.m., come back, meditate, have breakfast with family, and read scripture. So how let's get dive into this a little bit. Faith. How
Yeah.
has faith um, changed your business or improved your business, do you think?
Well, so faith is really important to me. Obviously, my religion, my faith is very important to me. Really learned the power of faith when I was a missionary, but also not just the spiritual side, but just daily application. Firmly like believing in a higher purpose,
Mm,
believing in your own self-worth, and then offering a service to people that'll help their lives. Like I really have learned that if you can envision something, it can happen. It will happen if you keep thinking about it and working towards it and having a daily discipline, a foundation. Like it will, like always, it will happen no matter what, as long as you don't falter. You start getting shaky and doubting yourself or doubting.
ah,
Yeah.
how do you deal with that doubt? Because most people, doubt seeps in and you start to go the other way for your mindset. How do you counteract that doubt?
Doubt is huge. Doubt comes from doubt's coming from you all the time. You have to protect
Mm,
yourself from doubt. You have all the negative stuff around all the time. You got to try and insulate yourself as much as possible. But the worst doubt comes from inside.
mm,
And so that's why the daily ritual I just shared with you, if you think about it, by like 8 o'clock in the morning, I've had just an amazing day. It doesn't even matter
right.
what happens from there.
Wow.
And that's when most people are just trying to get out of bed.
Just getting up. Yeah. Yeah. So guys, if you want to keep up with your mindset, follow that morning routine. What is the guided meditation that you do?
I like Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza. Okay,
It's called
cool.
Morning Meditation by Joe Dispenza.
Morning meditation from Joe Dispenza. He's a rock star in that space. Crazy. Do you go to any of his seminars and whatnot?
I never have. No. I've read his book, one of his books, and then I just listen to that every morning.
Dr. Joseph Dispenza, guys, do it. Do it. Scripture, mindset. So fast forward to today, 200 transactions, 6 buyers agents, and 5 staff.
Yeah.
How did you
Let's
build
see.
all that?
So we did 225 deals last year.
225. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, same thing. Teach people what you're teaching. And if they can do what I'm doing and we can do it all together, we can do a lot of transactions.
Wow. You're so matter of fact with all everything. Like, yeah, I'm going to set a goal for this, and I'm going to do this, and it's going to happen. It seems like you're so certain about your goals and so certain about building your business. Have you always been like this?
No way. No,
Okay.
not even. Yeah, definitely growing up, I was definitely not like confident, very like shy.
Can imagine
insecure.
that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Wow.
you should interview my parents sometime. Like they can't believe like, what I do
Wow.
now. So it's just a matter of the thing that I'm good at is just consistency. Like I will stick to whatever like my schedule, like whatever I'm committed to do. I'll just do it.
How do you stay so consistent? This is incredible, guys. I mean, you're a machine. Like, do you still talk to 50 people per day?
Pretty close. Yeah. I mean, it's 40 to 50 for the most part.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not going to do that forever.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's, yeah, I don't know why I'm like that, but I think I'm too scared to stop it and then try and do it again,
So how long have you been speaking to that many people every day?
I switched markets 8 years ago.
Okay.
I started over. And
Yes.
yeah, so when I started over,
Mm.
then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 50 a day. And just I always haven't stopped.
So who do you call in the 50 contacts? Like what type of leads?
Just the usual stuff, for sale by owners, expireds, database, neighborhoods.
Make it sound so simple. There's like no magic
is there?
here. I'm trying to see like if there's some magic in your daily life, because you do such big production, but it's nothing sexy, it's nothing magical. Just go ahead and talk to 50 people, expires for sale by owners, just listed, just sold, COI, past clients. That's it.
Yeah. If you know of anything else, let me know.
So in this hot market right now, are there still expireds and for sale by owners in your market?
Not very many.
So who do you call mostly then?
Now my database is big enough. One thing I did really good is just stayed in touch with my database and built my database bigger. So half of my calls are database at this point.
Okay, so out of the 50, 25 are database, and the rest would be circle prospecting or
circle neighborhoods, just sold calls around neighborhoods that we sell.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So then do you have a plan to kind of transition out of that and build more of a team structure so you could talk to less people, or is that going to be something that you do
I don't have
forever?
that. I don't have that goal. So I have 5 kids. I have kids down from 15 down to 3.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll be home. My plan is to keep doing this to see how good I can get at like listing property, but
Wow.
I didn't want to build a team. Oh, the last few years, I always had like 1 or 2 buyers agents and they were my family members.
Right.
And then this agent kept bugging me, like wanting to come work with me. So finally I let him. That was last year. And then he did really good. And he brought on 2 other agents and his buddy. So we ended it last year with 3 buyers agents, 4 buyers agents at the end. And we just brought on a couple more for this year. So I never really had that intention to build like one of those big teams. But people love to be around like this environment. And
they want to be around success. Why not? Right.
Yeah. It'd be awesome if I was that's one of my 3-year-old back there.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. If I could go back like at 22 or 23, if I could be around like join a team where there was someone that was just like how to really do a lot of transactions, that would have been so nice.
Okay. So you kind of built a team by default, but you think you could still do this for a long time, like the prospecting and going on appointments. How many listing appointments would you go on a day?
On a day, usually one every day. I
One every day.
listed, I think 160 homes last year.
Yourself?
Uh-huh.
That's insane. That's insane. 160 properties, guys. One man. So, and then from the 160 and doing 225 deals, how many did your agents do?
They did, it was like around 60 deals.
Okay. So out of the three, they did like 20 each type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Wow. And so do you still take buyers or you just focus on listings?
No, I don't drive out like buyers, but a lot of times people that I know will call me and say, hey, Brian, I want to buy that house. So then I'll just have like my staff write it up every now and then. But for the
Okay.
most part, yeah, I would never.
You wouldn't
I,
take buyers. Okay. Just list property.
that's right.
160 listings in 2021, guys. How? Talk to 50 people for the next 8 years. Every single
Yes.
day.
Sounds terrible, right?
But nobody wants to do that. How do you do that? Nobody
It's
wants
not
to do
that,
that.
it's not that bad, honestly. Like you can get used to anything in life. So like when I was at Missionary, the day that I got there, I didn't even put my clothes out of my luggage. Like we were knocking doors. So you kind of just got to like jump into it. And then you learn little tricks like how to keep your mindset good throughout the day. And there's, you just gotta get used to it, I guess. I mean,
Amazing. That's just really, really amazing because you're a machine. And I don't know anybody that has done what you did. Like not even Tony Smith. I mean, he probably talked to 30 people per day, but you talked to 50 for the past 8 years or
yeah.
more than that, because you started your career talking to 50 people. No?
Yeah. I started at like 30. I moved
30?
it to
Okay.
50 once I moved to St. George
Okay.
8 years ago,
8
9 years
years
ago.
ago. So, I mean, how do you, so we talk about this word grind. I think that's a freaking grind, Brian. How do you have some perspective and say, okay, well, I'm actually just helping people and talking to 50 people every single day. But I see that as a grind. What do you see it as?
Definitely a grind.
Okay.
I'm not going to shy away from that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
There's so many jobs I wouldn't want in this world. If you look around, driving around, there's so many jobs I wouldn't want.
Right.
And then, yes, it is a grind for sure. And I'm glad it is because that's what keeps the scarcity from competition.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I just have goals that I want to accomplish outside of real estate, like things I want to have or do or see, do for my family that I get excited about. And then it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Well, when you have 5 kids, guys, you got 6 mouths to feed. I mean, there's some motivation there, so
Yeah.
it's okay. But I'm just blown away that you still do that to this day, guys. That's incredible. So big congratulations on that. I have a quick question here. When you started in a new market, how did you expand your database and provide value for them?
Oh, that's a good question. Basically, talk to people all day long, prospecting. You have no one else to call. There's nothing else to do. Like that was a really scary time because I was doing 50 transactions and I just was like, man, if I'm going to move, I wanted to move to Southern Utah where it's warm and it's a resort market. It's like, if I'm going to do it, I better do it now before my business gets bigger because it'd be
Hmm.
too hard to move. So I did it. And that's a scary thing because you don't know anybody and you're just starting over. You have kids and you got to take care of them. So basically it was just what I just told you, FSBOs, expireds, knocking doors, calling people, and you'd have a great conversation with people and you just stay in touch. You have a system for keeping in touch with people.
It sounds so easy though, Brian. So a lot of people
It's
aren't willing to do
simple.
that. It's
It's not
simple. It's just
easy.
not easy.
It's hard, but it's simple. Like it's very simple. There's nothing complicated. It's just hard.
So why do you think people don't do what you tell them to do? And it's so simple. You just follow the simple stuff. It's nothing sexy. It's nothing like genius about it. You just went ahead and did it. Why don't people do that?
That is it. That's a great question too. I think a lot of people can get enough money, enough clients just from their friends and family
Mm-hmm.
to pay the bills.
Right.
And I
Yes.
think for most people, when they pay the bills and they can have a decent lifestyle by going into debt, they're okay.
Yeah.
But and that's why it's really hard to get past that 30, 50 deals where a lot of people get stuck at, because they have food, they have shelter, they have a car, they have a house, they're in debt, but they can make the payments and they're
Right.
okay, which is fine. Like if that's all you want, I have no like shade toward that. That's fine. But most people don't want to pay the price to like really expand and do better, bigger things. And then they hate the rejection. They can't handle the rejection. They can't handle how boring it is. They just
Yes.
haven't figured out to keep how to get their mindset through that.
It's so boring, Brian. How do you
Yeah.
make it fun?
I don't know, but I read a quote in one of Tim Ferriss's book last night. Like some lady, some massive ultra runner. She's like, I'm not bigger or stronger. I'm just really good at suffering. Like I'm the best at
Ooh,
suffering. Well, that's
wow.
kind of some paraphrase to that.
I'm just really good at suffering. Ouch.
Yeah.
If you tell people, I want to get into real estate, Brian, what should I be really good at? Suffering.
Yes.
They would never want to join. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
So, but here's the thing, you suffered all these years and you grinded all these years and you're still grinding to get to where you are today. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Um, do you think having 5 children has something to do with your motivation and inspiration?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think I would be the same if I had 1 or 10,
Okay. 10.
I would think.
Are you having more?
No,
Okay.
not physically possible anymore.
No? Okay. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. And so with your schedule, taking 160 listings per year, how do you even have time for your kids and your wife?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm really blessed. My wife is able to stay home. She doesn't work, so she's there with the kids, managing all that. That's a big part on her. It's a partnership. And then I'm just really disciplined as far as like when I get home during the day, each day, by a certain time each day. And then at that point, I can shut off my phones and be pretty much present. And then on Saturdays, I've always worked a couple hours on Saturdays. I'm a little less now. And then Sundays, I've always been 100% off.
Okay.
So I feel like I don't feel like I miss out on too much of their stuff.
So with the kids, I mean, you have teenagers and you have like super young ones. Their activities, like, are you involved in all that?
I've coached a little bit, but not
Okay.
honestly. I'm not as involved as some parents are.
Right.
And I feel bad about that sometimes. But to make like $3 million, right? I mean, most people that make that much money are having to travel, be gone
Yeah.
all the time,
Right.
and so I feel just blessed that I can be home every night on the
Mm.
weekends. We plan family trips twice a year. We'll go somewhere for a week or 10 days or whatever. And so we really try and plan and can I do better? Yes. I'm always trying to figure out how to do better, but my wife's awesome. She's there for them. We have a lot of help at home, like a full-time nanny and people that are just helping so that when I'm home, like I can just be there. I don't do any housework or chores or handyman. I don't even know how. So we just kind of hire all that out. That way I can
Yes.
just be focused on.
Focus on doing business, getting business.
Exactly.
So what time do you get home typically?
So on Mondays, I make sure I'm home by 5.
Okay.
And then usually most days right now, I'm home by 6. There'll be some like tonight, I have a later appointment at 7, but that's every now and then.
Okay. Okay. So pretty usual. So that means that you're still doing 12-hour days pretty much.
Yeah. And then Fridays, I'm usually home by 4. And then
Okay.
Saturday, I usually will do like an hour or 2 of calling on Saturday from home.
I'm just mind blown about, your willingness to put in the hard work, even at your level. Like you don't shy away from the hard work. You don't shy away from the boredom. You don't shy away from doing what's hard, which is the grind. Like how are you able to keep this up?
Gosh, I don't know. I wish I could answer. Well, I've got good coaches I've got
Okay.
great coaches that that are always encouraging me. I'm around really good people. My
Mm,
friends, they're all doing really well. I try to hang out with people that are just really motivated, because then you have to have something exciting that you're working for. Like what's next year look like? What's 5 years down the road look like? Then
and
it's exciting.
yeah.
It's not painful. It's just like you're connecting the dots from what I'm doing this very minute to this hour is going to equal that in a year or 2 years or 5 years.
Wow, just incredible. I'm so grateful that I had the pleasure of being in the same mastermind with Brian, and I'm always blown away at what you do. Just I'm a big fan of you. So thank you for being here today. What's one piece of advice that you would have for our audience to have us kick off 2022?
2022, you got to do exercises that make you think bigger. So I read a interesting quote recently that's been on my mind. It said, take your 10-year goal and how can you get it done in 6 months?
Ooh,
Or take your 1-year goal for this production year and say, okay, if ever possible, how could I do it in 3 months?
wow.
I feel like you've always got to, everyone is so much more capable of doing more than they actually think they can. And so just think about that and then make a commitment. Okay, if this is how it would look, what would I have to do personally? What would the sacrifice? Who do I need in my life to help me? And give it a go. Just try something that's going to make you uncomfortable. That's probably the most important thing. I'm always getting myself out of my comfort zone. I'm doing things that make me uncomfortable.
Doesn't look like it. It seems like you're always very comfortable with the uncomfortable and you make it look so easy. But what you do is so, so hard. So I just want to say I'm blown away. Again, I'm a big fan. Congratulations on the big production. How can we send you referrals to your business?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, you can look me up on Google, Bryan Burnett, St. George, Utah. If you have anyone coming to Utah, my cell number is, and anyone's welcome to call me if you have questions. My number is 435-705-3029.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be talking to you in a couple hours, but just want to say we appreciate you sharing all this golden nuggets. And guys, well, I'm blown away and I'm motivated after talking to you today. If you're not motivated, if you don't do what's hard, after this call, like you got nothing from this call. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later.
You guys.